YouTube? It's 307 Dipper, and today we're going to be doing a story time about the first time we got caught dipping. I know in my last two videos I said that we were going to do a Coke Mint review, but we decided not to do that and to do something a little more interesting because everybody does Coke Mint reviews. And this is...
I'm Luke.
He's guest today. So let's pack us a lip and get right into the stories. I'm going to be dipping on some Coke Mint.
I'm doing Coke Wintergreen.
Almost missed. I'm throwing a little hard up in that. Hate the smell of that wintergreen. I'm going to be spitting in a Realtree camouflage mud jug.
I got the black one.
Yeah. Not as cool as mine. Alright, so we're going to get right into the story. And you're going to go first. So go ahead and tell it.
My first time getting caught was after 2 days during football. I'm pretty sure that someone snitched on me because I was in the very, very back of the bathroom. And I just put one in. I was walking out, then everybody just was looking at me. Then two of my coaches was standing there and told me to come with them. And one of my coaches is a cop, so first thing I thought that I was getting a ticket. Then they brought me into this like little tiny room thing. And then they asked me if I'm doing anything illegal on school grounds. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then they just kept asking me, and I was like, what do you mean by illegal? Then he asked me again if I'm doing anything illegal on school grounds, and I was like, if you're talking about chew, then yeah, I do. Then he was like, okay, since you're being honest with me.
Y'all some fruits. Y'all some fruity ass niggas. Y'all recording?
Yes, Jake.
Hey, subscribe to my channel, Jake307. Know what I'm saying? Niggas is ugly.
God damn it, Jake. You some bitch, camo fucker.
Anyways, he told me that he just gave me a big speech, had chew is bad and everything, and the next time I get caught, I'll get a big giant $300 ticket. Then I had to do a bunch of running on practice, and the head coach gave a talk to me. They just kept talking to me about how it's bad and how I shouldn't do it and everything. And that's my first time getting caught, and it's right now the only time I've got caught. So,
my first time, it was my freshman year, and me and three of my buddies were at the mall. We were just walking around, hanging out, getting some food, checking out girls, and we were about to leave. Like 30 minutes before we were about to leave, one of my buddies gets a call from his mom, and she sounds pissed. And he puts her on speaker, and we can hear her, and she's like, "So, found something today?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" She's like, "Well, I went in your room, and I saw that there was a bottle full of black spit on your computer stand." He was like, "Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about." Because he's kind of dumb, you know, has half a brain. And she was like, "Yeah, you need to get your ass home right now." And he was like, "Mom, it was my first time trying it, I swear." And the whole time I was looking at him like, "You're totally bullshitting right now."
full fucking bottle. That's the first time.
And anyways, so his mom comes, picks him up, and she gives us all a ride home. She's just giving us all the dirtiest looks. You can see her in the mirror. We're on the back seat. She's giving us the dirtiest looks, like popping out her lip. It's quivering a little bit. Her nostrils getting all flared up and shit. And so she gives us a ride home. She drops me off. Later that night, I heard my mom talking on the phone. And she says, "You got caught with what?" I was like, "Oh shit." So I start hiding cans and spitballs. And then I hear footsteps coming towards my door. I'm sitting next to my door on the floor on my phone. My door opens. My mom's got the phone to her face. And she looks at me and she's mad. Just like the first mom was. And she says, "Where's your cans at?" Just with the sternest look. And I said, "What cans?" She said, Where's your goddamn shoe cans at?" I said, "Mom, I don't chew." She said, "Where's your shoe cans?" And I wouldn't tell her. So she just started going through my room, just throwing shit. And I had just cleaned it that day, so it pissed me off. I was like, "Why are you throwing shit?" And she just started throwing empty ass plastic bags at me, like that's gonna do something. And then she started throwing heavy objects at me, and I made me even more pissed off, but kind of terrified at the same time. And so she just kept throwing shit, looking for my chew cans. She lifts up this thing. I have this dresser thing, and it opens up. It's like a secret panel. And there's just stacks of chew cans and some bottles laying in there. And she says, That's all. She just looks at me. She says, I said, it was my first time. I tried to pull the first time card, even though there was 15, 20 cans sitting in there, a bunch of bottles. Now that I think back to it, it was a really stupid thing to do because it just got me in more trouble. So she takes them all. I had a log in there, a full log. And she takes it. She opens each individual can. She even made me help her crack them. And she takes me out to the yard. She takes all the lids off, sets them on the porch, on the little handle, the railing. She sets them all next to each other on the porch, on the railing. She says, "I want you to dump them all out one at a time." I said, "What?" She said, "Dump them all out right now." And it was a full log of Copenhagen wintergreen. She said, "Dump them all out." So I started grabbing them one by one, dump them in the yard, smush them in with my foot. The whole time thinking to myself, "This bitch." And so I get done with the 5th can. She takes my phone and everything. I'm grounded. She takes my Xbox cords to make my Xbox work. This bitch takes my headset too, that's gonna do something. I can't use my Xbox.
Nobody, nigga.
So she takes my headset, takes my Xbox cords. I'm grounded for a month. And she finally lets me off groundation. Pretty much forgets about the whole thing. And since we're short on video, I'm going to tell the story about probably the 5th time I got caught. And so it was actually this wrestling season, my junior year. I got back from a weekend tournament, and I was at my cousin's house. She came to pick me up, and I hear my name, Seth Andrew. That's my middle name. And I knew I was in trouble when she said my middle name. You know how moms do. And so she said, "Seth Andrew." And I opened the door. I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "So, I went to go get a charger from your room, and on the side of your bed, I found a bunch of chew bottles." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So, and this is my 5th time, so it gets less worse every time I get caught. So, she takes me home. The whole car ride, she's just glaring at me. She's like, "I thought I told you not to chew in the house. You can chew, just don't chew in my goddamn house." And she's pissed. I don't know why she's pissed, because this is the 5th time. She should just expect it now. "Oh, when's the next time I'm going to catch his dumb ass?" And so, she takes me home. I get in my room. She's like, "You might want to get rid of all that before stepdad gets home." Get in my room. There's 10 spit bottles lined up across my bed, just sitting there, just staring me in the face. She's standing in my doorway with the famous arm cross with the glare on her face, staring at me. One by one, I grab a bag and one by one throwing them in there. She's like, "Oh yeah, I want your cans too." So I'm like, "Fuck." So I try to play it off like I didn't have any. And she knows I keep them behind my wallet, so she pulls my wallet out. Just pulls it out like that. And 2 cans pop out, just fall on the floor. One was uncracked, and one was 3/4 of a can. Because you gotta stock up for wrestling trips, lose that weight.
True fact.
Sure. She takes them, she dumps those ones out. She doesn't make me do it this time, but she dumps them out. Makes me throw away all my spit bottles. And I wasn't really in trouble after that. She just gave me a talk about how she didn't want me chewing in the house if I was going to chew. And how she didn't want to support it. So, I obliged. So, didn't chew in the house anymore, but I've been caught about 7 times now, and every time it just gets worse. Now I can, sometimes chew in the house, just not in front of her, like if she don't know about it, in my room. But anyways, so that is going to be the end of the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your feedback. And that's all.